everybody, Spider-Kel back once again, and welcome back to the Optimus Prime cosplay build part 4. I did start to record part 4 originally as I was already building it, but I ran into a couple of problems. First of all was that I was running out of time. I had limited time left until I was going to get to the Whitby Comic Con on that Saturday, so I was basically focusing on just getting it all done, getting it painted, getting it. I just didn't get the time to pick up the camera and record my progress. It was kind of the last thing on my mind, as it were. And as much as I wanted to do it, I had a schedule that I had to keep. I was still working, and I just had so much going on that I just wanted to focus on it and make sure it was ready. That was my main goal. Second of all was that I was actually starting to feel unwell. By the Thursday, like the Wednesday, Thursday, I was starting to feel a bit run down, a bit tired. I thought maybe I was overdoing it, so I was just trying to take it easy. Another reason why I didn't really record. But basically, by the time Saturday came, when Whitby Comic Con had come around and I woke up to go, I felt terrible. I felt absolutely dreadful. I got up, I came downstairs, I had a coffee and something to eat, hoping that would kind of perk me up. And you know, once you wake up and get up and start moving around, you start to feel a bit better. But it just didn't happen. It ended up I had to not go because Whitby's a good hour drive for me. I didn't even feel up to the drive, and I could barely walk by myself. So instead of having the costume on and walking, that was not going to happen. So it was a really, really hard decision. And it took me a long time to decide not to go, which was the right thing to do. But at the same time, I put so much work and so much effort into it, it killed me, the idea of not being able to go. So yeah, it kind of, that really, really got me down quite a bit, that I didn't even get to go. So I kind of just put it all on the back shelf, just put it all back in the garage, and just thought once I felt better and felt I got my strength back, I'd be able to try it on, you know, and then take some pictures and send it to people, and you know, just sort of like an update of how it looked. It's now December the 5th, hence the Christmas tree. So it's been quite a few weeks. I did feel a lot better after about a week or so. It ended up being flu that I had, so I was really knocked out with it. It was really, it was a powerful, nasty virus. But I work in the care industry, and everyone in our company ended up getting it at one point or another. We had a massive staff epidemic, and so it was only inevitable it would hit the office at some point or another. So yeah, we were all quite bad with it, but a lot better now. So what I've decided to do is basically I brought the costume into the house, and I thought I'm going to try it on, see how it goes, see what it fits like, and I'll bring you along for the ride. So my plan is I'm going to take some footage of me trying the costume on. I'll talk through the different sections and how I'll put each section on, and you'll see the process of how I do it, and by myself as well. And this is the first time that I've tried it on. I haven't tried it on at all since all the repairs. I've done little bits, you know, I tried the legs, yep, they work fine, but as a complete ensemble, as a complete costume, I haven't put it all together. So this will be a first, and you're along for the ride. So hope you enjoy it, and yeah, see how it goes. Okay, first of all, what goes on underneath the suit? Yes, it looks ridiculous. Yes, you can laugh all you like. It does look daft. I know it does. But this is basically what I have underneath. I'll tell you as well, this was even worse than this because I used to have spandex. Basically really tight white spandex sort of jogging bottoms to go underneath. But they were really uncomfortable, as you can imagine, and they weren't really very good in the winter. My legs would get very, very cold. So I basically swapped them out for some white jogging bottoms. And that's basically all these are. They're just plain white. The good thing is, well, they've got pockets as well, so I can kind of put something in there. Not like I can reach it, but at least I can hold them in there. The braces are a new addition. This is kind of what I was talking about before, to hold the white thigh bits up. And after a few tests, these have worked. These are actually from a different sort of costume that I did. And it was for my work. We had a kind of like a 1950s style event for 50 years of the company. So I went in 1950s gangster sort of style, and these are the braces that I got with it. So thankfully they're going to come in quite useful. Finally, the top is basically a red jogging top, but the good thing about this, it's nice and thin, it's nice and removable, and it doesn't overheat, because inside the costume from kind of like on this side, it does get very, very warm. So this is very lightweight and it's perfect. The other great thing is it has the holes in the sleeve, so I can put my thumbs through so that the sleeves will never ride up or anything like that. This is ideal because you don't really see a great deal of underneath, but on the back of the arms you do. So it's always good. I like to have the red and the white, just kind of like for where the costume itself doesn't cover, it kind of gives that contrast underneath. So yes, this is what's underneath. And on the bottom, all I've got is some old trainers. These are the trainers that I used when I mapped out the bottom of the feet and the form. So these are the trainers that I wear when I have the costume on. So on to the next bit. Okay, as you can probably tell, I've kind of changed the braces slightly. I've done a cross so that then they don't kind of slip off or anything. So I'm going to give this a try, see what it's like. Yeah, the next thing that I kind of do is I've got the costume. I don't know how much you can see. I'm quite far back from the camera, and I apologise for this light as well. But as you can imagine, trying to get this whole costume on camera in kind of like a confined space is a little bit difficult. So I'm kind of doing it the best I can, and I hope it comes out across. What I do next is I basically try and make sure that I've got all the costume laid out in kind of the order that I'm going to put it on, but so that it's easily accessible. I don't have anything that it's you know, like I'm not able to get to easily, and that's kind of the way I plan it. I have put this costume on before inside a small disabled toilet, so that was difficult, but obviously as much room as I can give myself and as much space and as much preparation as I can is always ideal. So we'll move on to the first bit, which is the thighs.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, robots in disguise. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers.
Right, so there we go. Yep, so that's the upper thigh bits. As you can see, the string here holds it in place quite nicely, so that should stop it from sliding down. So that's pretty good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop the camera down a little bit so then you can see the legs, because they're the next thing to go on. Okay, there we go. Obviously you can't see my head, but that's basically the legs all into one place. And yeah, I'm really pleased. The only thing is that this keeps on slipping off, so I'm going to have to try and find a better way to connect that to up here. There, that seems to do it. But yeah, so that's basically the legs. And let me see, I don't know how well you're seeing that, but one little thing I'm finding is that these are still kind of off to the side, so I'm still kind of rubbing them against this section here. But I imagine once I kind of walk kind of properly, but there we go, that's walking in it. And actually, compared to how it used to be, my mobility is a lot better than what it was. I tell you what, I wasn't able to do this before. And you imagine walking up and down steps and so on was really difficult, but that's a lot better, a lot more manoeuvrable than it used to be. So there we go. Right, I'll move the camera up and we'll move on to the next section, which is actually one of the most fiddly bits. So this should be fun. I hadn't counted into the fact that my decorations are up, so I'm going to have to be careful with them. Right, so there we are. That is the top section. Already I'm really pleased with this. The side bits here, I wasn't quite sure how good these were going to be in comparison to this, but that's a lot better. These used to hit against this, so I'm a lot happier with that. It doesn't seem that bad, and I'm going to have a lot of the trouser on show there, but that's not too bad. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. And what this basically is, and let me just show you the back as well. I'm very aware of the decorations and the lamp, but on the back here I've got kind of like this box, and then these two cylinders just to kind of give it the Optimus Prime look. But inside, the problems of being a 6'6" robot in a house with a fan. But there we go. Yeah, inside the box is basically an old backpack that basically we were getting rid of. And what I did was that's what these straps are, is the backpack. And I attached the backpack to the costume itself so that I could wear it like a backpack basically. And then I've got this belt around here just to stop it from sliding back. So it's that's attached to there. What I have as well is these poles here and here, and that's what connects the front piece on. What I also have over here, come a little bit closer, you can kind of see there now, I have the poles coming through from the side metal bits, and also here I have, this is a child safety lock, and what that does is clip into the front part and it holds it in place, because I had a lot of trouble trying to keep this from falling off, and it constantly fell off, and that was the best thing in the end. It just clips on, but I can still reach over, unclip it, pull it off. So yeah, that was the best way around it. But now I'm a little bit closer to show you the details on there. So that's the sides, and also you can just see under there, there's my buttons, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Let me just give it a try. But inside here, yeah, a little bit difficult, but inside there, that's the sound card, and it leads through basically to a lead which is right here, and that plugs into the speaker, which enables me to have the sounds. I wanted to show you this. This is the sound module. It's a good friend of mine, Johnny, who he cosplays as Iron Man. He uses this, and it is basically an Acre MR1505. And as well as having a microphone port, because I do also have a microphone that I wear underneath the helmet so I can be heard, it also has a line-in section, so I can plug the sound card into it, turn it on, and then as I press the buttons,
That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron.
it plays the music through, while at the same time the microphone. Fortunately, I left the microphone in the garage, which I only realised halfway through putting the costume on. But you get the idea. I kind of don't want to be too loud as well, because everyone's asleep in the house. But I have 5 different sounds on this, and there's the unit itself, just for anyone who's interested. I have 5 different sounds on it, which can be activated by the press of a button down here, and they are.
That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron. Every Autobot knows I am the genuine Optimus Prime. One shall stand, one shall fall. Autobots, transform and roll out! Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Just some classic G1 Optimus Prime sounds. And that goes into the front and attaches on. So, it takes a while. Hang on, I'm getting there. And I'm here. Right. So now let's get on to the front part. Right, so there we are. There goes the light. But, so there we go. That is the whole of the front section. And as I say, I've got the 2 poles down here, and the clips kind of just clip into there, and then this kind of just falls into place by magnets, so that kind of gives it a more cleaner look. And up here I've got 2 excuse me, up here I've got poles, and then I've got a Velcro on the top here to keep these pieces in place. The Velcro isn't particularly well held in place at the moment. They keep on coming off, so I'm going to have to find a more secure way of doing that. However, there we go. But yeah, overall, this is the look of the body. These funnels as well, as I mentioned once before, do detach for easy transport, and then they do easily go back on. Now, I've never tried this one actually in costume, so I'm kind of glad I can do that. I'm really pleased with this front section. I've got my TV over here so I can see my reflection a bit better. That just looks so much better to what it did. So yeah, but I'm so much pleased with that. There's always kind of like this gap there where my body pushes it out, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm not too bothered about that. That's not too bad. So I might actually, I'm saying that, but you can tell I'm not really convinced. I might actually extend that out so it does join to there. Just make that, yeah, I might make that a little bit longer. Apologies, you can't really see, but yeah, kind of, you can see there's a bit of a gap where it pushes out. So I might just take these, add a little bit on, and make them longer. So it wouldn't be too difficult to do. So I might do that just to make that a bit more flush. But as for the front itself, yeah, I'm really pleased with that. It looks a lot better than it did. It looks a lot smaller, cleaner, just it gives it a better overall look. So I'm really pleased. There is one thing I've realised that I haven't done. I usually do that before this, and that's why I kind of say it's best to have everything laid out as you want it, and that is this. I have a neck scarf which kind of goes over and over my neck so that no skin is showing, and that gives it a much better look. But unfortunately I forgot to put it on, but no, not too bad, so that's alright. Next thing that goes on is the arms, or at least one of the arms. And so these are basically paintball gloves, which I picked up when I was away for a stag weekend once, paintballing, and I just painted them blue. And I did have gloves that I built myself, but they just didn't look very good at all. So these are just paintball gloves painted blue, so to give it that sort of more robotic look. My arms look really strange, these little skinny arms coming out of this big body. But we'll move on to the arms next.
Every Autobot knows I am the G1 Optimus Prime.
Yeah, that's the truth. Next is the head. And here we have the completed costume all put together and joined up. Overall, really happy with this. I'm much happier with how much sturdier it looks, how much it holds together as well. I was just testing there the movement on my head, which is a little bit less than it used to be. Now I turned the lights off here, and this looks weird, but what I'm doing is I'm looking for the switch to switch the lights on. In doing this I realized I put the switch a bit too low down, so I struggled to find it, but as you can see, the lights look really good. Very pleased with how powerful they are, but how well they look. But yeah, as I say, in doing that I realized I put the switch a bit too low down. I started doing a turn here just so I could show you the back. It's a lot cleaner, a lot smaller, and I love those cylinders on the sides, very G1. I keep looking off to the left because my TV's there, so I could look at my reflection and see what it looked like. But yeah, I was just testing the movement on my arms, and the movement overall is a lot better, and I can move a lot easier. And here was some footage of just the entire costume. The legs in particular, from what they used to look like, they look a lot cleaner, they look a lot better than they did. And as you can see, my movement is pretty good. It's actually better than it used to be. And I was just really pleased with it. And yeah, I think coming up I just start to do some there we go, some turns just to test the hip movement, and some pauses just to see what they look like. And so that is it pretty much. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed seeing the costume all put together. I've put these pictures at the end just to kind of show you some comparison to how it used to look to how it looks now, and how much different it is and how much sturdier it is. It's been a lot of years of preparation, but I'm really pleased with this result, and I hope it's going to last me a lot longer. But I hope you enjoyed it, everyone. I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback, things that I could possibly add or change, or what you thought of it. But until next time, everyone, take care, and I will see you soon. Roll out.